What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. Josh here, not for PokeJacks. We're going to talk today a little bit about the market. I like to call it Timmy Talk because I am a Timmy. Timmy comes investments. That is not my style. I'm a business type, you know, thing. That's the best way I can explain it. I do not invest. Whatever I get from distribution, I sell. Any collections I buy, I sell. If I see opportunities, I take them. But we're going to Black Bolt first. There are rumors of reprints coming out with Black Bolt. So I just want to take a look and see what we're at with the current ETBs. ETBs right now, market price is sitting at about $169, $170. A little bit of a downturn, still at a 22% high in the 3-month. We'll go for the year. In the year, it is up 101%. That is a pretty good return if you bought an MSRP. This was not a very popular set at release, but it has picked up in popularity. And, crazy enough, it may seem, but the Japanese Black Bolt and White Flare are very expensive as well. So what I see a trend in, especially with some of the Japanese sets, is if the American set has a high value, the Japanese set seems to follow suit. Some, even though, I'll use Trassel Festival, right now it's expensive, but the market price is the same as you can get it in Japan. So really buying it, tariff shipping, you're not going to make any money. That's more of a long-term hold. Just my little insight there, just kind of going there, but that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Black Bolt. And personally, Black Bolt's my favorite out of the two. Your most reliable seller right now, sitting around 2,600, and they're selling it for about 170. But that is Black Bolt. We'll go back real quick and we'll take a look. So I know they came out with the poster collections. Let's see if that's under packs. I know a lot of those have been kind of coming out lately. Dollar stores right now, the Unova Closer Collection. I believe this is one that people have been seeing around town. Market price right now is $45. As you can see, a little bit of a dip in the price due to going to dollar stores and Dollar Trees. That's where I've seen most people post about finding them that are out there hunting for them. Year high sitting at 52%. So highest point was in July at $52, and it's slowly taking a downturn. And I think that's just because you could say it's a restock, and they were at either the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever you want to call it. And that's where people were getting it from. Let's see, check for most reliable seller. See what the price is going for. 100,000, 93%, 9.3% is 47. Try to see if they're getting 100% seller, $51.50. Yeah, 1,200 sells. So that is your Black Bolt. We're going to go into, wrong screen. White Flare. Check White Flare. Right now, ETBs are about $155 market. Haven't seen, definitely no downturn with White Flare. It's actually right now it's at a 94% high, which is pretty good, $155. Most reliable seller right now. Let's take a gander real quick. This one's got 3,400 sells, $153. Another 100%er with 841, $153. So there's a couple 100% sellers in the lower range of sales. Here's a big, $5,200, $153. So, I would say those are probably more trustworthy. They are 100% seller. Destined Rivals. So we're going to Destined Rivals. We know we got a restock, or I guess you could say the reprint of the ETB, because it is different. Right now, market price is sitting around $125. So it did take a small downturn while still going into the downturn. We look at the year, though, you're still up 28% if you bought an MSRP. The highest point of the year was back in April at $276. But right now, your market price is $125. Like I said, this is something I'm looking into. We'll look and see how many average sold is 14. Definitely today, a couple of sold for 125, 126, 125. So 125, 126 needs to be the buying price right now. Like I said, for this one, I'm kind of seeing how much it goes down. I personally still have no information from my distribution of any reprints or restocks as of yet for Destined Rivals. I stopped asking Wednesday. I'm pretty sure my distributor is getting mad at me because I was calling all the time. So I just stopped. He told me, hey, if I get them and you can get allocated, you'll get allocated. I'll take it for that because he's been a man of his word. Every time something's come up, he's made sure I've been able to get something of it recently due to the spin credit I have with him. So, that lets me know I'm kind of moving up in the chop chain. Yeah, I would say you're probably, 99.8%. It's not bad. It's still $126. You got some smaller sellers at 100%. Got another large seller at 99.9%, 2200 at 125.95. So this is kind of like, instead of buying time, it's a good time to take charge. If you look at the monthly view, it is down 23%. But on the year, if you bought MSRP, it is 28% at a market high. We're going to take a look at the booster boxes. I know there's, supposedly a reprint of, or restock, of booster boxes. Nothing, I don't think it's changed dramatically in the last time I talked about it. It's still on a downward trend. At the high of the year, it's still 36%. This was a $600 booster box down to $400. The fear of a reprint is there. So that's what I'm assuming is going on right now. But let's see, we'll go down here and take a look. See what we got for reliable sellers. So you start getting in, so you got one that's been, got a star. So 6,100 sells. $438. Another 25. This would be my bet if I was going to buy. Would be the 25,000 seller at $438 at 100% still. So that's kind of where we're sitting with Destined Rivals. Like I said, not crazy update with that. Not everybody knows that supposedly there's a reprint restock. Ruby's talked about it, and Anon has talked about it. I would think there's enough reliable source amongst those two alone to know. And I think Pokey even talked about it, that, hey, something is coming. Another one that's also been talked about is Journey Together. Like I said, I've said this for a while. I feel like this is a sleeper set. We'll take a look at the regular ETBs. Last time I did this, I made a mistake and did the Pokemon Center, but we'll make sure to do the regular one. So right now, market price is $137. It is sitting a little stagnant. It's been riding the wave a lot. If you look at the all-time high, it's at 71%. So it's doing well. This was also a very unpopular set, but as you can see over time, it has gradually gone up, and that could have easily been, the demand, people would open it, and supply got shorter and became a little more desirable. Right now, market price is 128. Average sold is about 5 a day. Yeah, 128, 134. Somebody sold for 111. If I was buying from TCG Player, I'd make sure it's from a reputable seller. Somebody's, 99.9%, 100%, and has a good chunk of sales, to make sure you're getting, from a reliable source. We'll take a look back at the booster boxes. So from my understanding, these are going to be the non-enhanced booster boxes. The enhanced ones comes with the promo. Right now, you're still sitting at 2% at the 3-month view and a 15% at your year. Still, $300 booster box has definitely gone up. It took a huge downfall. If you bought this thing at MSRP, you're in a good standpoint. 2 are sold on average. So the last time one sold was on August 11th for $298. So, like I said, I still think it's a sleeper set. I've always been watching it. I like some of the non-popular sets because, those are the ones that seem to kind of sneak up on people and end up going up in price. And those are usually the ones you want to try to buy and you hope for the best. You know what? Let's take a look at Shrouded Fable and see what that's looking like right now. We'll go. Let's take a gander at Shrouded Fable. I don't know if there's, it's one of the ones that's about to go out of print. Look at sealed product. Let's find us an ETB. So regular Shrouded Fable ETB is sitting around 112 market price right now. I remember these were also extremely cheap. It definitely took an uptick back in, looks like May. On the year, it's up 75%, which is, hell of a return if you look at it. Quite a few were bought back in February, March. That's when it was at the lower end of its tick. This is coming to, end of its line. Free of sold today for about $120. I don't know what that $30 one is, or that $30 one is. Maybe that's Korean or Japanese. Like I said, I don't like how TCG Player incorporates those into market pricing. I think that kind of, they should be separated like with the Japanese, even though it's not, we can read between the lines. It's just, I feel like that this shouldn't be there at all. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on in business. It's been extremely slow. This month, August, has been very slow for me. Even a cookie run, anything inside the score, it's kind of depressing, but, I try to keep a smile on my face, stay motivated, stay positive. Good things are coming. I know toward the end of the month, we'll also get Mega Force 10s. I haven't got my allocations yet. I do know I will be getting them. I just won't have an exact number. So I'll be excited to put those on the side toward the end of the month. And I want to say there's also the mini 10s that are coming for Ascended Heroes as well. There's something else at the end of the month for Ascended Heroes I could have swore. I might be mistaken. But other than that, I wish y'all nothing but the best. I hope you have a terrific weekend. Till next time, Ghana4 out.